How's it going, guys? I thought I'd give my 47th impression of Final Fantasy IX, this time on the PS4. Um, the other day I saw it on the PSN, came out of nowhere. I really wasn't expecting it. Square didn't announce it until like a second before they released it, and it suddenly appeared on the PSN, and I snatched it up immediately and thought, hey, I'll just drop everything I'm doing and relive Final Fantasy IX. And I'm glad I did. Final Fantasy IX is a great game, everyone knows that. It's always been a big part of my life as a gamer. It's one of the mini games that made me primarily a JRPG gamer. It's widely considered to be among the best in the franchise, but it was never amazing for me. I mean, I always knew it was a good game, but I tend to prefer games like 7 and 10, 4 and 6 more than this. But I also like Final Fantasy 8. I mean, everyone says that Final Fantasy 8 is a broken pile of shit, but I don't know. I didn't hear any of those criticisms back when I was playing Final Fantasy 8, and when I was playing it, I loved it. Um, I think if you know how to break Final Fantasy 8, then it kind of ruins the experience. But when I played it the first time, I didn't know all that stuff. But uh, the main thing that really bothered me about Final Fantasy 8 or Final Fantasy 9 was the art design, which I thought was a little bit childish. All of your characters like have huge hands with these huge gloves, and they're all short, and they all have like I don't know. It looks like a cartoon. And something about it really bothered me. That being said, I do enjoy the game. It has a lot going for it, and has a lot of improvements over Final Fantasy 8. It's just not as high on my list as it is for a lot of other people. All right, so it's the PS4 version. They made a lot of changes to it. The first thing they changed is the textures, but they only changed it on the characters. The backgrounds still had this kind of really low resolution uh, thing, and early on, it's really jarring to see these high resolution character designs and this low resolution background together, but eventually you get over it. Another change they made is, although this isn't really a change, the game is in HD, although in effect it's still in SD, because there are these vertical bars on each side of the screen, vertical rectangles, that make the screen resolution essentially SD. My theory for it is basically they probably realized that making it widescreen would stretch the picture too much and make the low resolution backgrounds look even worse than they already do, which they do look. They don't look great on the PlayStation 4 screen in full HD. Um, I don't know if they could have done anything barring just completely redoing the backgrounds. Um, I can't really judge the development team that did this. I don't know if Square hired out a third party to work on the remake of this. They may have, but yeah. Since they didn't do it for Final Fantasy VII, I think they probably have an issue with remaking these backgrounds, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people are saying that this remake or this re-release is a cash grab. But I mean, do you really expect anything more from a private company? I mean, if they know that they're going to make money off of the transaction by giving you a mediocre product, they will do that. I mean, they have no accountability. They're a private business. It's not like they're a public institution or something where they have, voters or something to voting public to have accountability from. So, I mean, Square would sell you a pile of shit if they could do it. That's what they're designed to do. They're private businesses. Um, but aside from the visual changes, Square added a lot of things that I really disagree with. Um, they added in the pause menu. You have the option to select 4 mods. You can select a no encounter mod. You can select a max damage mod, and you can select a speed up mod, which multiplies the speed of your gameplay by 4. I don't know what the fourth one is. I never use it, but those are the main ones. Um, but I think they break the game. They completely break the game. And I know what you're going to say. I know you're going to say you're free not to use them. But if you know anything about choice architecture, you know that if you enable people to choose the easiest option, they will choose it, even if the harder option is better for them. So you have a lot of people out there, a lot of young guys, a lot of young JRPG players that will buy this game because they haven't played it yet, and they will just abuse these mods, even though they really should get through it. I mean, Final Fantasy IX is not a hard game by any stretch of the imagination, but whenever you're allowed to just blaze through the game with no encounters and max damage, it kind of ruins the experience. And even people like me, who've played this game for 400,000 times, will still use this to just get through tedious sections and kind of trivialize the whole experience. But it's a really bad decision on their part to add these mods. It kind of annoys me. But other than that, I mean, Final Fantasy IX, I mean, everyone knows about this game. It's like one of the greatest games. It's one of the greatest games out there if you like traditional JRPGs, that is. The characters are great. The story is great. The combat is a little slow. The combat is so slow. Jesus Christ. It takes forever for the combat to begin, and you have to choose. All of your animations take forever. It's disastrously slow. It's terribly slow. I'm actually glad that they had the speed up mod for the battles, because this game really needs it. But yeah, Final Fantasy IX for the PS4, definitely pick it up. I think it's worth the $16 they're asking for. They made a few changes to it. A lot of changes that I don't agree with. I'd like to actually know what you guys think in the comments section on these changes. Do you think the mods break the game, ruin the game? Do you think players should be given the choice to break the game that they buy? Or do you think that game developers should be kind of like dictators and tell you that you need to get through a difficult scenario? In my opinion, that's what they need to do. They need to tell you, they force you. That's what From Software does. I mean, imagine if Dark Souls had these mods where you could just take 0 damage and deal infinite damage. It would ruin the game, and everyone would take advantage of them. They would just take the easy way out. I certainly would take the easy way out. Back when I was suffering through Dark Souls 1, I would have, or Bloodborne's a better example. I would have easily selected a mod to get through the Bloodstarved Beast, but they didn't have it, and so I'm the better for it. I learned the game, bucked up, I was a man about it, and I'm glad they didn't give me the option to break the game. But apparently Square thinks that we should break the game if we have the freedom to do so. But let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.